They play Barbies with real life people. So they're matarán nada de respecto sa interpuño a alguien. Maldito realmente. Pero que se le vale pena. Oh. I'm a central line. I just say pasta. So yummy. He's still waiting for the legal prostitute to tell me his schedule so I cook for him dinner. Or that is ours, bro. You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of your semen. It's 11/18/2025, I think. I miss Data, I miss Kiloni. I miss Data, I miss Kiloni. It's 11/18. Sometimes these are accurate. I can't log into Facebook at the moment. And I lost my book. I hated for help. I left it while I ate lunch in the dining hall outside next to a sweater, possibly so I could lay down later. And when I got back from lunch, it wasn't there. But he has people after my locker belongings, so if I leave something out in the open like that, they don't care. They don't care. I imagine, or it's my mercenary is ready to take action. What else? Porque again, stop laughing at how disgusting they are stealing from me. Que si Team Marín de los tingüe. Todos los días era un maldito cuento diferente, dan un asco, que si te voy a violar a tu esposo, te voy a violar a tu hijo, que si voy a violar a quien te enamore, que si te voy a dejar sin comida, es un asco. Oh. Eso es lo que da risa. De tan fuerte. Yeah. 26 people are watching, no 10. Yeah, like this. Oh. I'm bored. I'm bored. You're fake, huh? In person, if I trust you. This is my GoFundMe campaign. I miss Jada, I miss Kiloni. This leech separated kids so that I legally prostitute myself to sustain myself and my 2 children. Or trying to get me to get turned on to get raped. That's not a man. That's my second cousin, Sally. I don't even know his name. Amor. I hate that I can't log into Facebook right now. What else? I don't have my phone there, but... Pero Julius and Daliris, Lorenzo Acevedo, Mom, is a banana. decades ago, él le dijo que él me tiene que matar para ella casarse con él por la iglesia católica. Y él, he wants to. Ew. Ew. That was decades ago. I'm bored. When I'm this bored, I seek the death penalty. More people this penalty. What else? He was dead. And there's like another hoe that stays in my home without my permission. She's the standing for that hooker that's not even for her. Porque I'm seeking the death penalty for everyone that stays in my home without my permission, steals my vehicle, and gets in the way we receive money. Immunity only, close proximity. Immunity only, start with my family of origin. This isn't an exercise. This is real life. I miss Jada. I miss Kehlani. When did they realize that they're getting the death penalty? They're like, one picture is fine. We just wanted to masturbate to more pictures of them. One picture is fine. Porque someone in that group chat may have some immunity to kill them in self-defense for me for separating Jiggy and Kehlani from me. So they get nervous. I wish that seconds ago. So where's other people? I don't stick around. Why would I? What else? I'm bored. I took a lovely nap. I even for her. So lovely. Look at me. My outfit is cute. Looks a neutral though. Oh, no. It looks so cute. I look so pretty there. So cute there. Better look cute there. I was meant to have my own show in Puerto Rico. I'm the popular educator in Puerto Rico. And this leech decades ago stole my house, my money, my vehicles, raped me, drugged me, raped me, drugs my crushes, goes after anyone that he thinks I would have interest in having sex with. My show got canceled before it started. Porque he hates education, lo que quiere violar. He may have habilitated himself, but I'm not going to give him an opportunity to show me otherwise. I'm bored. Worst guess at an orgy. Worst guess at an orgy. Worst guess at an orgy. I'm bored. You wanted us far away from the family tree you want? You can. No? But how long ever she can. Está buenísimo, qué lindo, eh. What else? I tried to do it, Holly suggested it. However, when I did the QR code for this, it took me to like, how satisfied are you with the service here? Or why am I doing points to myself? That's beside the point. I talked to a guard, I'm like, email, and I sent it to legal. But I think he and I got free rapes and take his head off. So he may have given me the wrong email or the right email. Well, that's why I don't feel bad over getting rejected over this email. What else? Okay, he wants to try to create precedent. No, still. That when you're in a homeless shelter, at least one time you'll have something missing for him to steal from people. And that's the work that you get. Like, I've never had anything stolen from me at a hotel. Ever. I've never. Before this piece of shit, I had never had to file a police report. Ever. What else? I don't know. Wait until he realizes that he hates me, though. I can't express it and everything and says it out loud. I just hate her. Alright, looking for you for official job. I'm not giving up on this. Even if I were working a job, there's cameras at Walmart, and I could be. I'm here because I hate it. Have you seen me at the Harris Interval? Or Nordstrom? I'm just here, but you don't want those deals from me. What else? What else? You can decapitate Carolina Chavez. That stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money. Bullied me through Facebook in 2020, saying that I shouldn't seek people to give me money, that I should get a job, which is a violation of my rights. What else? I'm very adamant. I'm suffering. I don't have to eat anything lonely. What else? I'm bored. Oh, when he gets killed, you have to make it public so I don't go looking at people and be like, you poor thing. Does he force you to work here to mock you and steal from you while you're at work? Oh, you poor thing. You're close proximity to him and he could be raping you already. Okay, that's how I look at people. That's a good question. Catholic Church. The funny thing is that one of them is a haven for hope now. And they go around saying that people go to homeless shelters to die. So it could have been a way to desensitize your parents to send one to a homeless shelter. That's where you're gonna die. How about them? Oh, I can put it legal hands on again. No dang. Well, he's a haven for hope. What else? It's not when I say so. What else? I can't sign in on Facebook here. What else? Hilarious that the illegal prostitute, they documented how many years of him stealing my money and being with illegal prostitutes, thinking that I would be posting and making them famous. What else? Everyone's famous. No one comments and says, really? Panchito Suarez is stealing from them? I guess that's his name, but I don't know. Which one that is? I'm bored. I'm bored. What else? What else? Isn't my charged with terrorism, sex trafficking, rape, theft, grand theft auto, home invasion. What else? Genocide. I'm bored. I thought he was dead already. So I'm so disappointed. I thought he was already. I'm bored. Oh, he murdered my mother, Arlene Lorenzo Acevedo. Trying to make like I'm pobretona, sin ropa, necesitada de pena, barata, buscando vagina sucia. That's what he does. These videos are for his mother, no? So he dies and she's a piece. Possibly. Did I say torture? Or I have to get cavities in my mouth fixed in a few weeks instead of taking myself out to buy sonos by myself or with a date or with Jada and Gailani. I'm bored. Ooh, I want to shop for myself. What else? What else? What else? Who's the death penalty first? Oh, I like this t-shirt. I must say that was good on it. That's what a bedroom for one looks like again. I'm gonna stay here tonight. At the Thompson Hotel. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can give me money in person through PayPal. It's AR Blue Sky. Blue Sky Designs. Todo lo que estoy pensando. Straight to my heart. Arlene Lorenzo Art. Shop INTAYIAFAY. I'm sorry, shop. My GoFundMe campaign is gofundme.com/f/Arlene Lorenzo. Not a one. Maybe one night. One night is boring though. It's already 5. Not available to do. Maybe tomorrow then. Pero what is there nearby? Hotel Indigo. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm exhausted. I was already exhausted in 2019. I'm exhausted. What else? 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 Amor. Oh, sweet baby. In the meantime, la Lich, que le mama el pene, dice, me vi para el honeymoon, pero sola no, porque se encuentra otro novio y yo no se lo puedo quitar. He's after whoever I date to steal it from me. That's how disgusting and disloyal they are as relatives. They're disgusting. In the meantime, I've been celibate for 9 years. Ew, 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 ew. So you can charge him with that too? Catholic Church maybe. And she killed himself. I would have killed them when they drugged me and raped me in self-defense decades ago. Had they not drugged me. What else? 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 More. One day I'm in the room. Is it available? I'm gonna stay here tonight just for fun and rest. Who's gifting me money today? What else? 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 How many of my prearranged marriages he rapes? Because he went on to find out about my intrometido. All of them are. And then he drugged me when I was about 19 and had me had sex with some of the youngins. Forced me to. Did I look brain dead or I don't want to be doing this, but they're pretty? Jorge Avilés, possibly Richie Hill, his brother, no? And then shows them around to people, showing them my culo, no? Up close. And then saying that I'm a pedophile when I'm not a pedophile. He has a hate campaign towards me. I don't receive $1 until he's dead, most likely. De tan annoying que son. I'm bored. I'm bored. And I wouldn't have water. ¿Usted que es un animal, po? Él mata por pena y vagina, po. Lleva violando por más de 30 años, robando mi dinero, so I can have sex for him to feel satisfied. And he's home. We don't share the vagina. We don't share a brain. No salimos del mismo boquete. What else? What else? What else? What else? No salimos del mismo boquete. I'm very adamant. I'm very adamant. I don't want to be a haven for hope forever. Or without money. There's cute people there that I could have already asked out. Possibly. And gotten rejected. But whatever. I'm bored. Devastated. Did he write dating Kalani? Ate needs to take them out somewhere, or Cynthia Lorenzo take them out somewhere and rape dating Kalani. What else? Why we starve a mother on purpose? To check your shit, but I don't want to. I'm doing it with our. It's Alex. Baby, you're gonna just started laughing at them. They're disgusting. But hopefully Alex is who kills them in self-defense. Because what if Alex did want a baby with me? I'm very neutral when it comes to that. Neutral. How aesthetic I wanted in all of them. Look at me. At random times. La prima muy mal. What else? What? I'm bored. What else? I'm gonna check my Facebook account. I'm not Se cree que para ser modelo hay que matar. He kills for my modeling contracts, no? Or qué vergüenza if she's out there some vieja magazine and it makes me look bad as a relative. And the last one then. It gets worse. They don't get it. They're like, oh, we don't want to be embarrassed. They were warned decades ago, International Criminal Court. He possibly goes on to send them emails with, this is how I steal from Arlene, ha ha ha. If he doesn't get to torment me with that right away, people say, I'm bored, I'm already stressed. I don't want to hold a book. I should be allowed to leave a book on a boulder and it not get stolen next to my sweater. I got up to eat. And then I was going to get back to my sweater and my book that I checked out from the library. And they stole my book and my sweater, most likely. They would get in my locker if they could. Did he sniff my mattress already? I don't want to be here questioning this. This may be court ordered for me because I would be otherwise la-di-da. La-di-da would say my dad. La-di-da. What else? Where should I stay tonight by myself? Oh, now I'm supposed to fight with the illegal prostitutes. Que si Scotty estuvo allí un mes, no, en Haven for Hope. Y yo no le pude ver el pene, quizás that's my arranged marriage. Y yo estoy tan triste. Mientras la illegal prostitute me enseñan fotos de how they took him en mi Maserati, en mi casa, y él les enseñó el pene a ella. They would think that's the next phase. They're like, como que she already moved on from that. Yes, but she needs to cry to us that she didn't get to have sex with Scotty. Scotty may not have been into me. And there's so many Scotties. I did that. Pero he's more like Russian mafia to me. Do they have him? what is it? Not being able to pay child support for his kids if he has any kids, as to maintain the West Side aesthetic. There's no such thing as West Side aesthetic. He doesn't look Mexican to me. When I got there, I thought, why does this one feel more that I just saw? Oh, he made me eat shit. Kill him. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And then he wants to know if I acquired. Is the cheese? Like how? Does that have to do anything with me? Oh, I had a great morning this morning. Like I was daydreaming about a certain individual. And it turned out that he was right behind me in line. But this is court order, this is control environment, most likely. What else? What else? What else? So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to post that Cheez-It post. Is this about him? Is it about me? Hopefully not about me. Hopefully not about me. And then I posted it. And then instead of moving towards the front of the line, I felt like I was gravitating towards the dick, but I wasn't stopping it until I heard his voice saying the line is still moving. I look back, I'm like, oh, that's my favorite. You're behind me. What else? So I started daydreaming in line. I'm like, this is so embarrassing. And I got pre-rape because those people won't give one a chance, and I won't give him a chance ever. And he's so pretty, and he may hate me for no good reason, just that he got raped. And he blames me, and he's really pretty, and he also and I love young dick. What else? What else? Was I supposed to take him to the library in Salt Lake City? And they took him for me with illegal prostitutes, took pictures, recorded it, wanted to torment me with, well, because you were available, because you want two good, really good kids, well behave. This is what we did to your arranged marriage, Beyonce or random. That guy, no, that was a Central is older than I think. And he and I got pre-raped too, and he hates me. Is that what? Roach spray for him to kill himself? What else? 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 I don't know why this hit a nerve. I don't know why this hit a nerve. Oh, there's another post, but I can't log in here about that. What else? 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 I was supposed to pursue my health too. That's what I remember him saying. But I just didn't pursue it because it was between take me to the library in Salt Lake City, which I was trafficking to Salt Lake City, running away from this, raping me and my children, and his brother raping me and my children. So I wasn't even comfortable. I'm like, why Salt Lake City is a great city, but why Salt Lake City? When I wanted to be at the beach in Puerto Rico, most likely. So that's another reason I felt like a fish out of water-ish. With a lot of work to do. Those undergarments are sexy. So if you wear a swimsuit, you might as well be teasing me anyways. So I chose that he hates me because I don't know how I met him. They drugged me. Is he my arranged marriage? Like for real, for financial gains, for beauty? It would have been perfection. What else? 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 Oh, and I don't want to talk to him about it. I'm just screaming and crying at him for help. Like, I'm not crazy. With a few people. This is with a few people checking up on me. Are you okay? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm not gonna be masturbating in a bathtub, in a shower. I haven for help. What's the other one? Rubbing my titties, my vagina. I was questioning why is the order shower with a stranger? Well, as soon as you get to what is it? To a homeless shelter. I'm trying to not get a heart attack right now. And not like, here's a picture of my vagina I got here. Boy, it's my vagina that would have brought me to the homeless shelter. Not the water and the soap. I know what that is. So he wants to make it look like I've never showered. There's pictures of me on Facebook at a hotel at Disney. How can he think that people are gonna believe that I've never been out of my parents' home y que soy jíbara y no sé lo que un baño público es? Pero para él, Facebook doesn't exist. Para él, el internet doesn't exist. But is he receiving money from that and then says, oh, sí, the internet exists? What else? 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 I don't know what that means. Anyways, I'm using the restroom. Taking a break. Yeah. What else? What is that randomness there? I'm like, what is this standing for that? What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? Oh, is that like satisfied? Like literally designed for a baby for he and I years ago. Okay, I think some people went through the trouble of that too. cry over failed relationships. I just laughing because of your computers is like it's cliche like maybe it's on a computer. What? And not my parents, but other people who ever program one to make one take the house concepts down to the spanky it isn't. That would be apologizing. Handsome was I even for help laying on the floor by the lockers? I'm like, oh my god, I just raped you in my head. I thought you were gone. That's not normal. Define sexuality, define babies having sex with themselves. I mean, if he doesn't die, I wish I will, but he needs to stop stealing from me. And I want my money, my homes, my vehicles back. That's it. What? The $5. What else? With my face. Never grow up into a man. Never grow up into a man. Your choice. Pero no te quiero el mismo. What else? Todavía. What else? I just took a shot at the library. Now I get why they take another one's presents. People say, not him specifically, but one of my siblings. Yeah. On his way to the young people. Freaking dementia, ¿no? Lorenzo Acevedo, a way to kill him. They cut my sweater. If they haven't. Okay, that may be it. I may have a mercenary that I'm like laughing. Do you know how many times people say I could have already killed him while he's here? In self-defense, and apparently I need to get money. So there may be people around me seeing me. Not just at the homeless shelter. Saying, well, just taking too long for her. I have immunity. Maybe I'll do it for her with her life future sweater. I've heard it's also to detach themselves from the situation, like who they're doing the killing for. Lightly.
Yes, he told me. I'm sorry.
So what is this about? That I'm too old for him? That he already lost interest? That he never was interested and he's worse than my second cousins privately? All down to pre-com. So fascinating. Which is embarrassing because if he blames me for the rape, he may be very uncomfortable, wanting to kill me, I've heard. Pero pre-com when it's my second cousins, they're hers. And when it's handsome, doesn't. And there was no pre-com for the other one because either was born after I got pre-raped. Or that's the guy that they threatened me decades ago. That it would be very pretty and they would rape me with, and I won't ever remember him being in the room and having sex with me. So that I seek the videos of like, oh my god, he was with me. And so I rewatch it. This is relatives of my parents that are so disgusting. That rape. Ew. So they need to lure one in with that type of conversation only. I don't need to. I'm here crying because I'm glad that these were prepaid in 2021. For many people, same with my dental work. I'm like, guys, I'm broke, but I want to visit the military. So there are no fees due. Still no? No or due fees. The airport SIP. Best $25 that my parents paid for as a friend. Positive suitor. Far away. Is that okay, bitch? Okay. Going with the fees. For everyone. But that was the age that I was supposed to be here. And I was possibly brought here, but I don't remember. Oh, they were so interested in finding out if I owed any fees. Because they say that they'll behave well for the FBI, literally, as if the FBI is their dog. When people get killed for not paying library fees on time, that's exactly why they get classified as bigots and out of touch with reality, incompetent. What else? Oh, and that too. When it reopened, I was so thankful because I'm like, is there at least one buddy of mine that's out there needing the services of the library? What else? And my buddy, I just. So I don't owe any money here. What else? I'll still visit if my book has passed away. It was stolen. I filed a police report. I should be able to leave it somewhere and it not be stolen. There's people that leave bags all the time unattended at places there. And I was trying to make it a point. I'm like, why is the real estate guy always sleeping in the same corner? My prima told him to sleep near the speakers that I would get there and then start recognizing him. So I'm like, how big was my bed that he was trafficked to possibly from like all the way over there where he is at to where I'm laying here now? Oh, and I sent a form to the FBI yesterday, so I'm just laying nearby him now, listening to music because I love the speaker. Sometimes I move away. I left and there was music playing, not attached to the speaker either. Or maybe there wasn't music playing. Sometimes it stops. It's rock. Yesterday was, or Monday was alternative Monday or Tuesday. No, it's a theme. It's a theme. Is the DJ live though with that comeback kid or what is it? That's hilarious if the DJ is live. I'm like, why is it playing this? Well, it just applies to the situation I was thinking about to talk. Pero it applies to the situation. If I head to the restroom and I have one known fan here, maybe like, oh, is she taking a shit? And if I'm taking a shit, it's the same conversation. What else? I'm not even gonna reply to this, but can you tell the gratefulness that I have that they did the job of sending it to the appropriate email for me? Because sometimes they're too busy to receive a thank you. What else? Also, my prima's directing this along with the FBI, some of them. I don't know her name for just to keep her anonymous and everyone may be like, it's fulana. Decades ago, tú te sientas aquí se va a sentar uno que se parece al papá. Did I get it right with the guy? Or is he my half brother and I will ever acknowledge him because it's so embarrassing? Or stripper down. Drag queen down. Possibly if it's a lookalike. It's the, you know how there's, what is it? There's this here for me, but there's, what is it, antibacterial. I love my dad's name and he was like, it may be that he strips. What is that called? I can't want to say an original book. He's a person himself. What else? So I laid on a boulder here-ish. And then my favorite subject was towards my left side. The right side. When I woke up, there was an Edgar lookalike sitting around here. My daddy lookalike was sitting where I was laying down. That for the police. Porque my Facebook posts aren't everything. Like they have to check boxes, I've heard. In person. Is that the anyways? So my daddy lookalike always sits there, near there. Then as I woke up, I'm like, oh no, Panchito was here, Suarez was sleeping, sitting down on a bench, not a bench, one of those, there's like Adirondacks that connect. There was someone next to it, hopefully it's her office. Pero as a second cousin, I mean, he exists and maybe he has kept me away from trouble just by existing as everyone. People say that even murderers could have had like a great deal with Target at one point. No one's buying that stationery. I guess the next listing, one doesn't know it's a murder. What else? What else? Who else is there? My favorite Puerto Rican is that his dad sits on, so where I was sitting, laying, then there's some stairs and there's a corridor I used to model. As soon as I get out of the shower, those days, my favorite Puerto Rican accent, and he's really pretty, very fuckable too, most likely, like beyond my favorite stripper, most likely, lays there, and then they're near the boulders, there's like more benches in the smoking area. There were some people playing cards yesterday. My favorite trans were there. My favorite aesthetic of Puerto Rican police is cross-dressing just for fun to entertain me. Or it's just a random, or is it a woman that looks very manly? Or es de alguien que jode la policía de Puerto Rico and they send him para que yo le dé una lección de que la gente trans are scary. So they made him sit near trans people so that he feels comfortable with them. But I'm like, I'm down here waiting to receive money. Thank you for teaching me sex ed. Now I can have kids. Anyways, so he sleeps the past like 3 nights now. My favorite Puerto Rican aesthetic of cop sleeps in the female dorms. So I sleep on a bed here, and he's like 4 beds away. It's my favorite stripper. I wouldn't have sex with it, I think, unless I'm financially stable. I would have to. And it may not be there for me. It's just the way that it was described to me decades ago. So I've been sleeping with a man in the dorm, unless it's a very manly woman, but there was already a brown color person there that didn't do the job either. That I think it's a male. So they had to bring in a brown Puerto Rican. Porque the other one that was there at Tetas didn't do it for me either. To lay down for a nap. Like that's how Tetas. What else? What else? What else? So for the past 3 nights, I'm like, ¿para qué lado pongo el culo para acá? Because my favorite Puerto Rican aesthetic is like 4 beds away from me-ish. I think so. I'm like, do I say good night? But that's all the thoughts that went through my head. What else? It could be a leash, but I don't know. So I'm just playing that in my head only, and then I say, no, my thought. So anyways, for the past 4 nights, I'm like, do I say good night to them? What do I do? I just ignore it. It's like not my thought, and it's just random. So it took all of that effort for me to lay down and take a nap today. It felt so good. Like I've been trafficked by the people that steal from me into a homeless shelter, so I die of a heart attack not being able to ever take a nap. So instead of getting worse, I'm getting better. All the time. And to my knowledge, Scotty and I haven't ever slept together, so I didn't want to sleep while I was there. I'm like, oh, I have to see me sleeping. What if that was my arranged marriage and it would have been beautiful sex? I don't want him to remember me like sleeping on a boulder at a homeless shelter. For one needs to be aware of the, people saying they don't show interest to one because one isn't financially prepared. And then they go, if they're very young and naive, they go around saying, I was there with the wife for a few days, best days ever, sexless marriage. You better not be saying that on me. I'll kill her in self-defense. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I don't do sexless marriage. Oh, I don't do sexless marriage. What else? What else? What else? Down to now. They're gonna search the subject note and say, well, actually, look like you isn't married to Scotty that left. It's married to Scotty that's still there, trying to rape me, trying to get me to cry because I don't let them rape me. So that's my family of ocean for the most part. Has a different story every 5 minutes of who it is that they raped. Oh, and then favorite Puerto Rican has a dad, no? Is he there? Do I know him? Maybe not, or maybe that's his husband. So, does he visit my primas and says, what is this? Can someone tell him to stop hugging me, metiéndome el dedo por el culo y diciéndome que me ama? Can someone tell him that I'm okay with that? Or is this the proof that two men, because they show up sometimes, that two men can love themselves like this? And my primas coach them during Sora. Sometimes some people from another town show up. And they're like, no, so and so's college friend. And they're like, we have to sit down and tell you. My dad is what's like always fancy with me. Like, is that normal? And they're the perfect people. If you don't listen, they'll recruit it from you. Traffic you out of just so that you see it happen-ish al frente de one of the relatives for them to tell you, I told you my prima would approve too. So there may be people there that don't want to be there. Que le dijeron, vete, dame un favor. Chequéate a mi prima que esté bien, pero no te introduzcas tú mismo. Déjala ver si se recuerda algo de ti cuando te escucha hablar el acento puertorriqueño. Just to rule out Alzheimer's. Or do my siblings lie that I have Alzheimer's, trying to rape me, trying to bring me back home? Still, what else? And did his dad get there? Surprise, surprise. I've heard that happen once at least. Maybe at a Salvation Army. And my other prima was like, bueno, ¿qué le pasa a estos dos lovers? Are they husband and son? Father and son seeking approval of what they do is real or not? And then my primas at a later Sora will be like, guys, these are our friends. How they didn't believe us that it's okay. Well, we fixed it. We trafficked them to this other place. Well, she was just waiting to receive money. It's like, you're gonna be here standing and say and do this, or it may have already happened naturally. If you see it, you can tell them that there was a standing or previous, in this case, there wasn't a previously arranged conversation about this that I remember of, because then they hold back. Because they are so scared or so happy about showing their love for each other, they become slightly annoying to some people, still asking, but is it okay? Is it okay? Like all the time. What else? How charged is my phone? Is that my arranged marriage there? I hate for help right now. If he's there. What else? Don't say that this was us meeting casually at Centro Plaza, no, both of them, when I ran into them. Who said that I'm even interested? What else? What else? I hate the standing chat. Pero signo definitivo en marín de policía. Theft under $100. I thought the price from Amazon, this was a guess. I saw it from Walmart that I bought the other day. My prima's gonna tell you that ya esta sola me cansa. Solo voy a dejar aquí. Por si se lo roban o no. Porque ya me lo he puesto como que muchas veces. Y es mi suerte favorito. Pero I want privacy. There's nothing wrong with the sweater. 15 myths of homelessness. What else? Oh, I mentioned there too. That is hilarious because I kept reading it. It's like, where am I mentioned here? Porque I'm mentioned in housing first. That you shouldn't have to make a person that uses drugs or drinks alcohol excessively or has a sex offender record wait to become sober or good and respectful before can get housing, because the homelessness may be causing the drug addiction and the rape. Sadly, not everyone is. I have a long history of people that have been abused in my family of origin that I said it once in 2021. No, now I know it's so you do drugs, do not feel anything. And it was offered to me several times, like, girl, do you want drugs? Through a doctor then? What else? Oh, so what's the price on this? $18.95 is the list price. So that's fine. Whatever. No, I didn't write which either. Oh, then actually. Porque this could be petty theft or terrorism tours. So that's why a police report gets filed. What else? Petty theft is they just took it and said whatever, she doesn't need it. I want it. Very ignorant, very selfish. I'm just gonna toss it. I don't want her here. Is more terrorism if they took it. As in, I wish I could kill her, so I'm taking her book and her sweater instead. I'm gonna take this away from her so it causes pain and a bad day onto her as terrorism. And because there's already a long list. Where's this one? Abuse tours in there. Let them know. What else? Encontramos. This kid, isn't me, wears an ankle monitor, possibly as a deterrent for crime, possibly a conversation starter, or possibly because lives annoyed at me that he doesn't even know, no? History says, is it one of these that has to defend the color mint? And every time that he showers, has to announce it to keep hygiene standards. And I've heard that some people, not specifically this kid, it could just be a standing for me to speak about that. Like I hadn't already before seeing it. It's so annoying at their parents. Like, why do I have to be the poster child about cleanliness? Do I post on Instagram? People are gonna be congratulating me on that. There you go. Good for you that you took a bath. Instead of saying you look pretty. What else? It's Ilo. It's Ilo. No, it's Olo. What is Olo? No, it's Ilo. Not that one, but that's it. Is he Colombian? Or his relatives? No. Are mistaken. This kid is so funny because his locker is near me. I even forgot. Porque I was staying in a hotel. He may be staying in a hotel. Not everyone sleeps there to testify. So he's like 2 lockers down from mine. And I'm all day Colombia this guy with the music, and he's like, pop this. And he's like, no, don't go. I'm trying to talk to you. I'm like, ¿qué? No. Porque this is my weakness. This is my weakness. And I'm afraid that they'll use him to get to me, to drug me and rape me. This, for some reason, is my weakness. What else? My favorite stripper. What else? What else is there? Yeah. You can in the cafeteria run the stays at my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way, receive money. Have drugged me and raped me. Today is November 18, 2025. Nangasko. Ew. They rape my crushes. They get in the way of me receiving money. What else? No one has first dibs on my vagina. These people are ridiculously stupid. They are terrorists, so they try to hide their terrorism. Like, you can't date outside of the family. So no one finds out that we're terrorists. You know how we all know that someone had a baby through a magazine or a book or something? What else? And more. Why should I get a job? I'm gonna be a dealer saying so much this day, me. Jodido suave, me está robando mi dinero, me está pariendo muchacho que no pueda porque puerco es, cogido prostituta, porque te tener mujer, lo que tiene prostituta ilegal, robando de mi dinero y manteniendo yo que pueden tener, que asco, que gente tan puerca. What else? And they're here, possibly one of them. They don't rape babies, shouldn't kill themselves. What else? Yo no quiero trabajar en el cono. Amor. When I am a name. Where's Elon? Is it Elon? Is it Olo? I can't remember. I forgot already. Oh, it's not something. What else? But to James Z, this is like, wow, mind blown. But to James Z's grandma, it's like, ay, nena, por favor. This is like the article the other day saying more potatoes or that the cure for cancer is here. What else? When have I ever said a bad thing about any of them? When have I ever said a bad thing about any of them? Do they laugh and they're like, no, este no tiene que ver nada con eso. You should see this potential. Porque if it's at a homeless shelter somewhere, you just porque it's DHS. What else? I'm bored. I've never, ever said a bad thing about any of them. Where did it go? I've never said a bad thing about them, ever. What? I'm bored. And I get excited lately when people are around me with like fun. I'm waiting. It's like the Lord. What else? Que este lloriqueo, gente. Este lloriqueo. What else? Okay, I don't care how many times does the library have him on camera saying, maybe thinking, no, body language. Le enviaré un mensaje a Arlene ahora para joderle la vida o no. Or when he gets in a vehicle, if this is one of the younger ones. At the first stop, like, diablos, mensaje que le envió Arlene. What else? I don't like my sisters. That's the whole point of this too. Tiene que show los esposos de mi prima or her kids by association or both due to polygamy and polyamory and maybe a little bit of what the fuck happened here. Oops. It's what I think. Oh, that's why, like, de lejito, I say hi to them. De lejitos. But imagine, like, one prima went to college and goes on meeting randoms. And they become her husbands and they all have kids together. I'm like, I can get myself to college alone. I don't need to be after the same randoms. They're very pretty, some of them. And I may have been arranging marriage with some of them back then, before the verse too. But out of respect for myself, I want to be financially stable. Then if I run into them, maybe. But did I miss as his madrina, possibly? Porque él anda con una lonchera a veces. or con una sabanita laying down, maybe trying to get me to rest as a stand-in or random, or really love San Antonio and I'm here. Like, they're like, what the fuck? We're not here for standing. We really love being there. It's very fun, bitch. And sleeping arrangements and meeting people. You don't like it. Don't ruin it for us. Possibly. Pero él anda a veces con una lonchera. So was I supposed to pick him up in Colombia at least for a day, like a godmother-ish, like you're my prima's son-ish, husband-ish, and I'm here to visit you and paint with you after I pick you up from school, and then in your closet you're gonna have like 20 t-shirts, all with the same stuff. Porque some of us ain't all the same, and they're gonna tell you beforehand if she rolls them her, she may want to have sex, but not this. What else? 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 I hate to say that it's staff's kids that I was hoping would be funded years before they were born, or now that they're born, because I'm very caring. I'm making them public so that they get funded. But I've said this before, like I wouldn't want people that possibly work for me, like health-wise or security, or even my seamstress, may follow me right now. I don't have use for it. If it's been like instilled down the line, I like making sure, or at least making it public, that these families get taken care of, because it could be something, like that baker that can't get out of the contract but still loves it. I've heard that still could exist. What else? But that's why I'm never where I'm supposed to be, so that hopefully they get to be wherever they want. Pero they may be angry if I talk to them like bitch, then we're even worse. Porque if we have an agenda and we don't follow it, you're at the wrong place, then it's even more stressful to do this job. Pero I shouldn't be here at the library today. Same cause. What else? Anyways, Olo has been found. What else? Or is he like from the family that, knowing my parents, I may have been introduced to Red for a minute? I don't remember, like literally, as networking. I may have been introduced to the families that came up with some colors. For I wouldn't doubt it. What else? Oh, this one's pretty. This one's so pretty. What else? I'm bored. What else? What else? I was Kilani. And I love wearing that color. Oh, that was the last day that I saw that guy. When I got back, he wasn't there anymore. So that was smooth transition. Did I already talk about that on YouTube Live? Did they do remember the one under the bridge? It might look alike. There's another one that left. It could be coincidence, but based on how I've been traumatized in my childhood. A few days prior, there was a guy that was near the bubbles. I was getting my phone. He said to someone, "I'm leaving tomorrow." I'm like, yeah, right. These people, is this a stand-in? And he's literally leaving tomorrow. Why do I care if he leaves tomorrow or not? So the next day, I'm like 7 a.m. My house is still here. Who is it? Who's leaving? Who is it that's leaving? And he's still there. Porque if one has anxiety over attachment to someone, then there's a standing for that. Pero that was the last day that I saw him. I think in the morning. I missed my appointment here at the library at a journaling workshop that I was going to attend. Legend says that if you're arranged in marriage with someone and you're both at a homeless shelter, if you miss that first commitment that you make to do something productive while at a homeless shelter, that your arranged marriage goes away. So that morning I took myself to the clinic because my blood pressure has been high. I feared cancer, so I want to discuss the results with the doctor, even though I saw them online. I got my chlamydia results that were online. And I went in early in the morning, 8:30. I was said to come back at 1:25. I didn't get the reminder that I had signed up for a journaling event here at the library. So I decided to give my health appointment first, but I'm 45 years old. I shouldn't even have that appointment. Side note apart, I mentioned this because some people, illegal prostitutes, will befriend one and then be like, and that's when you kill yourself. As if that would matter. As if dick isn't abundant. It's like if the guy had been interested in me, it would have worked out anyways. What else? So I don't want to dwell that if I had taken a nap that first day that I saw him there and not waited until he left. Because the illegal prostitute wants to tell one, well, you never lay down for him to see how you lay down, so that's why he never invited you out. Who? ¿Qué? What? Ew. What else? He's really pretty. I wish him well. Hopefully he's dead. If he steals from me and gets in the way of your statement, that's a possibility. What else? Porque I'm seeking the death penalty for everyone that stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of your safety. I want to be a photographer. What else? Possibly my favorite so far that I've seen, but I love that aesthetic. And he and I may have been pre-raped. And I don't remember him. And people said that he would hate me. Because they would condition him to hate me for having been pre-raped to torment me. So that's why I don't make any effort. I don't have any dollars. I don't want to get pregnant. I would have taken it out to dinner just for fun or shopping just for fun. What else? It could have been my arranged marriage. And it didn't work out. Pero that's why I'm seeking the death penalty for everyone that stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money. What else? 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 That's why I'm seeking the death penalty for everyone that steals my money. This individual said that he would rape him decades ago and torment me with that. He possibly tormented those individuals with him raping me back in 2018. Like, look at me. I talk to her and you don't. They're very immature. They're very gross. They're disgusting. Ew, ew, ew. Ew, esta tipa es puerca. Ella posiblemente los viola. Dan un asco. Esta gente posiblemente los viola. Dan un asco. Ew, dan un asco. They don't gauge. They don't respect. They gauge intelligence. And they're like, oh, she calls it rape. Dan un asco. Ew, 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 ew. So I'm seeking the death penalty for everyone that stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money. It's November 18, 2025. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They plan to terrorize me. If he was born yesterday, this leech terrorized me with another female. Decades ago that they would rape him, record him as a baby, tormenting him, talking to him about me. I don't know if he has a sibling that looks like him. What else? 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 I wouldn't know how to gauge his age. I don't want to. What else? What else? What else? But have you seen him with David Ledesma? Then kill David Ledesma? Have you seen him with Arlene Lorenzo? Then kill Arlene Lorenzo? Have you seen him with Joanna Vargas? Then kill Joanna Vargas? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They think that I sound bitter, jealous. This is premeditated against him, premeditated against me. These people are disgusting. Me basura, un asco, una mierda. Ew, 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 ew. They steal my homes, they steal my vehicles, they get in the way of me receiving money. They rape anyone that they think I would like. Dan un asco. Ew, esto sigue, gente, esto sigue. And I miss Jada, I miss Kehlani. Some people are possibly angry that I don't advocate for those kids. I don't have to. The police can do it on their own. But since I'm seeking the death penalty for people that have drugged me and raped me, it's a good opportunity to bring up the leech. You can decapitate Gloria Margarita Cartagena, that wants to terrorize me, no? De que ese es el esposo de Astrid. And then I missed my opportunity to date him because they steal from me and they get in the way of me receiving money para que ese sea el esposo de Astrid. Or it may be similar aesthetic. Dan un asco. You can decapitate Gloria Margarita Cartagena. What else? 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 You can decapitate Sonia Alvarado Chapman. You can decapitate. What does it say that? That's weird. What else? 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 You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money. I don't need to see videos of them interacting like animals naked, putting their penises in their mouths and shit. You can decapitate Latina Fanny. Esa es una puerca asquerosa, basura que se queda en mi casa sin mi permiso, me roba mi dinero, gets in the way of me receiving money. What else? 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 I'm bored. I am bored. You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money. What is this? You're gonna copy to everyone that steals from me, that stays in my homes without my permission, that get in the way of receiving money. Did she right then? Where is this one? Does she rape him? Does she rape him? Does Deborah Bailey rape him? Richie's brother? Does she rape them? Does she fake being me? Please drug me and possibly creative videos if I'm arranging marriage with them, saying, well, these are my wishes, that you let Deborah suck your titties. Esto sigue, gente. Esto sigue. What else? 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 I want to establish. I don't want any chiquito that's possibly gonna be, even if he were interested in me, going around talking to my siblings afterwards, or these leeches about what he and I did together. That wasn't the relationship that Edgar and I had together, to my understanding. What else? What else? What else? My gente que lo violan, no? Illegal prostitutes, they're so gross. I'm bored. I am bored. When did I start sending? I think that was on. What else? 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 Oh, show the police report. Email that I received. I can send this to the blue campaign. Okay, I shouldn't even be there. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I had a pattern of abuse those people that you have. One rejects them because one doesn't want them raping one, and they're like, well, let's pretend she's Latina poor, and now no tiene panty, and now no tiene esto. Un asco. Un asco. Victim of human trafficking, so any theft towards me needs to be reported. Or even misplaced. Because that just means that I wasn't being careful for a reason. Which is I want privacy. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Sending this. And then where is the other email from him for her? What else? 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 There's Tinder. There's Bumble. I don't need to be fighting over dick ever. There's plenty here. I'm just not interested in it, and it's not any offense. It's just my favorite strippers here. What else? What else? What else? And true, some people maybe at an orgy. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? There's different types of attraction. There's nothing wrong. We're all adults here. It gets stressful for some people. It's like there's that terrorist that isn't a terrorist, but because she's a victim. When she says my favorite super, people shiver sometimes. What else? 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 So, I spent Oh, is it the same one? Oh, it's okay. What else? What else? What else? What else? It's such a pretty color. But anyways, I mentioned there. And I mentioned here. Where's it? How's it first? Because I'm a witness of people being victims of theft or terrorism so that they lose their homes, and then people say, no, it's a drug addict, it's a drug, don't give it a home. After they turn it into homeless, possibly saying, be my drinking buddy, as a way of self-care. So because I witnessed all of that, when this get instated, what else around that time? Pero this shouldn't have tanto documento. Am I still here? There. I'm asking only any abuse towards a person affects the whole planet. If you abuse the person that designs labels on the daily for HIV, you're affecting the whole planet. If you abuse the person that holds the key to open the library, you're affecting the whole planet. Sadly. Anyways. Nuremberg is running for judge. Not a coincidence, maybe. Bear County. What else? More documents to back up this. He doesn't show remorse? I don't know. I don't read body language. And I don't talk to him personally. Some people may look at these videos and say delusional, has already habilitated himself, and what she has is PTSD, but he doesn't deny it, stealing from her, raping her. That could be the case. What else? I'm bored. When do I leave? Soon. Taking bus 3. So I could have read a book today, but I don't have the energy allowed to do that. So if they pre-rate the bellistas, do I respect you? Where did it go? I won't go on to find out. Some of them may want me dead because they're like, I don't want her to post like, mira lo que le hicieron a él. Or mira lo desnudo aquí. Or mira en pamper. Or wrote this sarcasm post the other day. El gistro ese con elefante. Some of my primas can get their friends to do that willingly. I've heard, because it's a product to buy. Other people force men to do that to blackmail them later. What else? 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 I'm allowed to be very into myself only. Not fine giving philanthropy. This is me being selfish. Pero I expressed from a very young age, housing first, based on the abuse towards me. That any suitor that I have, if we don't get to me and it has money directed towards me and it's already specifically found her lifelong partner, because there's people like that. And they want to dispose of the money because it makes them anxious to see my name pop up when they file their taxes, or their accountant says, well, what do you want to do with this money? And he already has, or she has already moved on to better pastures, that they use that money for the betterment of the planet somehow. And no one por ahí should be working just minimum wage to provide for themselves, and that's it. So I imagine that a lot of the suitors that I won't ever go to meet are very wealthy. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And like the library has friends of the library. $25 gets one to so many places too. Memberships too. It's networking. Some people wait for those memberships. It's like, oh my god, if so and so would just buy a $25 membership, it would make this place so fancy, because it was basically like built for it, but it can't get here. So for networking purposes, if someone, the right person, buys that membership, they're like, so and so knows that we exist, and it's the type of client that we cater to. Did you know this so and so? What else? 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 704, really? What else? Later. Sun. That's what I thought. What else? Loves to read, and it's like yada yada yada. Someone give me my money already. I wrote food with me. So look what I'm modeling. So to some people it's nuance or semi-nuance, because it's like, what did she pay? What did she bring? That is that guy right into me. It would be so pretty because I was finally at a point moment in the restaurant to think about that moment earlier when I ran into that guy that I was fearing at the line to eat breakfast. That may have not been a coincidence. If he's the stand-in, what else? Some people don't think it's real. They're like, what if she's just trying to be into someone that wants to be here? That's why I'm sorry, whatever. I also don't rate for those people that don't deserve to be mistreated. Pero he could be there getting acclimated to marriage with someone else. I heard years ago. What else? So I just walked down the hall. If you are my friends, that's what I did. Celebrating how pretty it is. What else? Wow. What was the other song I heard in there? I can't remember. I need privacy. It's not close proximity anyways. Why not I introduce myself? When have I ever introduced myself? Porque my goal is what no penalty for this. The incident, please stop recording. What else? What else? What else? I was saying that people in 2020 may have said word time as being forced to head over to a homeless shelter to see arranged marriages that won't work out for her because she's not financially stable. And they're all trying to mock her. Other people bashing her. I hate to bring him up. Es un asco. Él me violó, me robó mi dinero. He wants to position himself as a better date than me. Es una basura. Es una mierda. Un tipo tan puerco. Ew. Esta tipa es puerca, ella violó. Se queda en mi casa sin permiso, me roba mi dinero. So me violaron, ¿no? And then now they have benchmarks. They're like, when she turns this age, we show her the videos. And then she'll kill herself. Or she'll get turned on and let us rape her more. Now, last time, they're worse than Afghanistan, people say. They mock people from LA without knowing what LA is. Down last time. So una vergüenza no jibaré. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. ¿Estás ya? I said this email. I love this color. What is this? And I don't get that. Is it me or is it that guy? That's hard to find sometimes. Oh, damn. They sometimes traffic people. The other people say, I never run into him. I want to see him. To see what feedback they hear. So, ¿te gustó? ¿No te gustó? ¿Te acostarías con él? ¿No te acostarías con él? ¿Me lo mamarías a mí instead? ¿O se lo vas a mamar a él? ¿Se lo mamaste a él? ¿Te gustó? ¿Te gustó? ¿No te gustó? Nosotros define this sometimes. So pretty. That's so pretty. What else? I don't know. Alzheimer's. That's what they accuse me of. They try to make me look incompetent. Like I'm too dumb here, that I don't know what food is, and I got something else mad of cigarettes. But that's why I document everything. Most people are good. And my parents told me that for the most part I won't ever find out if they are, because as long as I keep my personality of never provoking them, no one backhanded comment towards me. What else? 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 It's called respect. What else? What else? What else? To brush my teeth. My toothbrush there. What else? Better brush my teeth last night at the dorm. I brushed my teeth the day before. I should be flossing, but I don't have a restroom to do that in. Or money for floss. What else? Do these people get funded? Porque some people, because I don't have friends, I'm like, yeah, I gotta have like a networking event today at luncheon, and look who showed up, and I wouldn't have said hi to any of them, other than hi, thanks for visiting. And that's it. And the staff partakes, at least in my work, the staff partakes of the event. So some rather the person eats first, and then they'll be like, oh, that's lovely. It's how that it gives the clean, eat cleanly, because it gives the germophobes a little stress of did you wash your hands in between wiping the tables, if anything, and having that conversation. But this one dips strawberries into your mouth, and you do the same thing for the other, where your hands even clean. So you're supposed to leave the cleaning sometimes for what, like the guests have left, or midway through the party being done. Some staff likes to partake away from the actual party. What? And it's like the lottery if it gets a tip or not. What else do que lo manda a decir que my family ordered so wealthy, no? Or that people are generous. As in Arlene has no money, pero if it's for Arlene, and Arlene has a new friend, of course I'll fund the friend. I've heard there's people like that. They don't even know me, but they have wealth and they have wealth and they have wealth and they put up in her house. Has a new friend. I'm gifting money to the friend. So because I have no friends and some people may have picked me as their pet project to invest in, if I go around walking, not even recording it, and say my favorite stripper, I've heard that sometimes there's people following that will fund those people. Or it could be a relative, or it could be groups of people that are already in the know. They're like, damn, so-and-so wanted to buy a car just for sitting in the bus with her. Do you want me to buy you a vehicle? And so on. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm obsessed with sleeping. the homeless shelter. Now, taking a nap at a homeless shelter has nothing to do with readiness to stay in a hotel. I was already at a hotel provided by Haven for Hope in 2021, the Holiday Inn. Some people refuse to take a nap at a homeless shelter because they really want to stay at a hotel. What else? Because the illegal prostitute gets in the way of one's arranged marriages and goes on saying to the guy, no, don't put her in a hotel yet. She's not sleeping there. They want to humiliate one. And sadly, some people are so gross that they listen to that. They're like, oh yeah, that's how it is. And then they go on to satisfy illegal prostitutes. It's so gross. But as I'm eating and they arrive to the dining room, I'm like, ew, there's illegal prostitutes here in 2025. I'm having so much fun at Haven for Hope. And because they go on no lying to people and say we're besties, no one objects to the close proximity and me rejecting them, possibly. What I've heard. Plus, I'm keeping my library voice or my fake friend belief, like, ew, there's illegal prostitutes here. That type of voice. Without saying I'm just talking to my imaginary friend. Ew, kill him today. My relative. What else that steals from me, that drug me? Ew. His wife is there, the illegal prostitute that he had babies with. They walked up to my parents' home decades ago and she said, I need to have babies with him, so we're taking your money. These hoes are so gross. If they can't fund it, they should, and there's no rush. Aren't they almost of childbearing age anyways? And possibly now stay on their own, but what they have ain't worth shit because they owe me so much money that they should kill themselves today, down to the babies if they're terrorists and they're adults. They are disgusting. How they justify stealing just freaking motherhood. Ew, and then they wanted to terrorize me that if I couldn't have babies, I shouldn't have had them. My kids are trust babies. They just want to know how much money is in that trust. My parents assured me, because those are the only kids that I wanted to have, that while I was going through amnesia and recovering from abuse on behalf of those leeches that drugged me and raped me, that I would be provided for by Edgar through my parents too, and that my kids won't ever go without. What else? And these leeches want to tell me that I'm not equipped to be a mother because I'm not financially stable, because they steal from me. They want to try to get me to kill myself. They're so disgusting. Ew. That leash that was the Central Plaza the other day. Esa tipa es puerca. Esa tipa es puerca. I thought they were dead already. Okay, I'm seeking the death penalty for them. Down to the kids if they're terrorists and adults. What else? So when I run into those people there, I just say that I didn't know the illegal prostitutes exist in 2025. Yeah. Immunity only, close proximity, immunity only. Start with my family of origin. This is real time. This isn't an exercise. I miss Data, I miss Kehlani. What else? I'm very adamant that they get the death penalty, but my prima warned me down to the soundtrack. Guess the Comeback Kid. Guess this is my fight song. Que si Maluma, que si esto, que si Thalía, que si esto, que si quien más. That it may take 5 years for people to kill in self-defense for me, because what I need to do is just be doing nothing. Even if I was working a part-time job, but I made it public that I'm miserable there, then people will kill in self-defense for me, meaning like she is hysterical hysterical, laughing at them. She can't get it done just yet, but she wants to. So while I'm here, while I'm there, and my kids are with me, I'm giving the impression to people that I'm doing the killing myself. And they may have already started, just not too very close to my family of origin yet. And it's not in the news. Maybe someone got killed or it was in the newspaper, you knew about it and I don't. Sometimes the newspaper says 2 people got killed on the side corner of this, and people say, oh, those 2 that were stealing from everyone and raping and murdering. Oh, okay, good to know. I've heard. So what I'm doing is just cruising through life. And my prima warned me decades ago that it may be 5 years of this-ish. Could be less, hopefully. Porque I'm gonna stay here by myself. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? This guy looks so pretty. Is that a restaurant? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I wonder what it would have been to be a teen there. But I have no regrets. I visited a few times. What else? What else? What else? What else? Maybe the people that possibly were gonna meet me there will show up at one point to the adult section of the library. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. What's this? Not the right one. What? I'm bored. What else? What else? What's up with this? Does I need help? Or is it just to remind me that I was forced to eat out of a trash can decades ago? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Just because supuestamente I'm so Hollywood. Pero my primos say, and my primo's like, no, she's more more Miami, Versace, down to the rest of walk. Maybe a little bit más less. Pero me entiendes. Pero LA, like, no, Calvin Klein. Very covered though. I mean, I can do that. Pero, Writer's Guild, okay, maybe. What else? Maybe Malibu Beach Barbie. What else? Pero not like LA. What is LA anyways? Can someone bring me an In-N-Out burger so I can show people that LA is just LA? That's what so-and-so suggested that I stay. And I said, what do you need? I need In-N-Out burgers and a chicken. Pero this brand Haya is where? Everywhere. And still people don't get it? That LA isn't anything particular where everyone's like, we can't have anything. There's no Cartier at Mall San Juan, you're welcome. My trips to the, what is that? To the International Plaza and Bay Street. What else? My favorite hater, pre-raped. I can't remember. But I hear that voice and I recognize it. Or he has many relatives that speak the same way. What else? Now I can't ever guess what brand of shoes he's wearing, but this time around he was walking very fast. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Speaking of reflexes, oof, I sense it. But I'm the relative of that. It's like mi codo ya estaba por aquí before I even realized that it was him. Same like this morning in the breakfast line. And then I looked back and I'm like, oh my god, this guy is so pretty. He's so tall and handsome. He's so tall and handsome. But I didn't feel like I'd let go. Right? My primas are guessing for someone else. Like I was doing the thing where I thought in my head that I was dancing on his dick, but at the same time I was protecting myself. But behind the scenes, he could have been like that little kid that was like, she's older and I raped her. Oh, Kehlani's look-alike image is at that mural at the Moon's Daughter. And so are my tatitas. So pretty. It was said too that my motherhood would be rewarded with a mural of me or Kehlani, whatever she looked like years ago. Awesome. What else? 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 Nothing to brag about though. Motherhood. And my parents praised you at the age of 3, at the age of every few years before having the kids. What else? Never once I can have about Jada and Kehlani in their presence when we took them to visit once a year for a few hours. What else? 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 Es que ustedes creen si matan a Arlene Lorenzo Acevedo en self-defense for me hoy. I gotta have to do surveys now. Oh, you were trying, no? To desensitize me from seeking the death penalty, and I won't let it. Possibly. Wasn't that too? His mother sent him. Why don't you talk to her and say, what if someone funds her really well secure to be with her kids? She stops the charade of, I'm taking the death penalty for her, steals from me, and gets in the way of me receiving money. The non-guilty people. They want to dar un consejo. And I don't let them. I don't let anyone near me to tell me otherwise. Oh,